I'm Gab. He's Jules. Blue skies over West London. Jules, we're getting closer to the holiday. It is the holiday season. What am I talking about? And we'll be getting to the Coppa Italia and the League Cup and that big Paris Saint-Germain Monaco game. I hope Gigio Donnarumma is okay.
Yeah, he will be.
Otherwise, he can get Pogba's brother's friends maybe to go and visit that guy. but whatever. But I want to start with an off-the-pitch story, a non-football story, because this stuff comes up occasionally.
Yeah.
So A22 Sports, which is a company behind the Super League.
Yeah.
If you remember, about a year ago, they won. They said they won. UEFA dispute this, but there was a big court case with the European Court of Justice that said UEFA was a monopolist and it was anti-competitive. And they said, essentially, the upshot is UEFA has to allow other competitions, provided they meet certain criteria.
Yeah.
Those criteria are that has to be open to every team. So teams from 55 different UEFA members, at least they can try to qualify. That qualification has to be merit-based. In other words, based on where you finish and your ranking. And UEFA wrote into the rules also, it has to be ethical. And also that UEFA wrote into the rules that it can't interfere materially with the UEFA competitions.
Okay.
Now, they'd say that this part is illegal. A22 says this is illegal, but what do you mean you don't interfere, don't disrupt your competition? That's what we're supposed to do. But they say, look, A22 says, all we want to do is put a proposal forward. So they put a proposal to UEFA, and they want UEFA to approve it.
Yeah.
And then teams can choose what competition they play in.
Okay.
On principle, are you okay with that?
I think that the European competitions work really well for me as they are now. So I don't need another one. I don't know what club would move away from the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League to go to the Unify League, which is the name that they've given, which I think is a ridiculous name because it's the Unify streaming
platform. Yeah,
that's right.
Which doesn't actually exist, but they're going to set up.
But it will exist. So I don't think we need another one, but hey, they can do what they want.
Right. Their argument is that European competition law guarantees choice, and there's choice. And we're going to talk about later about whether this could actually work, whether you could have two competitions running side by side. We had that in basketball 20 odd years ago, and then only lasted 1 year, of course. Because I think it's impossible for both to run side by side and make money.
Yeah.
We can break that down further a little bit later on. The other thing, though, is they say that their format is much better. And now, if you're wondering what the format is, I'm going to try to explain this to you really quickly. So there's 3 levels, if you like. There's the, starting from the bottom up, there's the Union League, the Blue League, and then there's a Star League and a Gold League.
Oh, right, okay.
So there's 4, but the 2 bottom ones have 32 teams in them. And the 2 top ones only have 16 teams. So at the very top is the Star League, 16 clubs, and then the Gold League, 16 clubs. And the way it works is, and this is the part where I just really wonder, would this be more exciting or not? Is that everywhere you have groups of 8.
Right.
In the top 2 leagues with your groups of 8, you play everybody home and away. So it would be 14 match days. The top 4 advance to the quarterfinals. And it's only the top 2, incidentally, in the leagues below. And then in the, because there's 4 groups. And then you have home and away semifinals, home and away quarterfinals, single leg semifinals, and a single leg final.
Okay. So
do you like the 14 game group stage to determine 4 teams to advance? Is this more exciting?
What would it be more exciting than a group of...
Than the Swiss model?
Of 4, the Swiss model. And also, if they don't find that many teams, so 32 times 2, 64 teams they need for the 4 little divisions.
No, they need more than that because they need 96.
16 and 32.
16, 32, and 32. Remember, there's 4, right?
So
Star,
unless
Union,
all those teams say yes, it can't start, right?
Well, no, because you can take, if a team says no, you can take teams from further down the pyramid, right?
Right. Okay. So we'll end up with a massive conference league competition, basically.
Don't be dissing the conference league tonight. In a few hours,
No, I'm
it's
just saying.
exclusive
Because
conference
what
league night.
if it's only the team that finish 9th and 10th in your league that say, okay, yeah, we'll fancy that because
That
we
is
can't get
obviously-
into the
look,
other European competitions.
That's obviously one of the challenges, right? They're saying
Yeah.
it's a new product. People have a choice. But we're going to break this down further because I kind of want people to understand what this is before they put thumbs up or thumbs down. All right, Jules, just with the format thing.
Yeah.
This is something that actually Andrea Agnelli, when he was president of the ECA and he wanted to reform the Champions League, and he said, oh, but it's more exciting to have a group of 8 playing home and away. It's more guaranteed games. It's 14 guaranteed games.
Yeah, instead of, if you had a group of 4 like you used to in the
Yeah,
Champions
back then it was 6 guaranteed games, obviously. But what I think one of the many weaknesses with this format, and yes, in the Star League and the Gold League, it's the top 4 advance, so you might have some jeopardy. But equally, you might also have teams that have qualified by match day 10.
Yeah,
And teams that are eliminated by match day 10.
that's true.
But even more so, when only 2 qualify out of the 8, what the hell are the others playing for?
Yeah, exactly. Which we had sometimes as well when we had a group of 4 in the Champions League before, with 2 games to go or a game to go. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure this moved the needle for me at all. And it's more that I think you could have a very, very wide range of teams then agreeing to go into this competition. So the value of it and the level of it overall, if you can't just have the 3 or 4 best teams of each country, but then go down to maybe the team that finished 7th or 8th with the team that finished
This is one of the things. So if the Champions League, if Chefrin shuts the Champions League tomorrow and all these teams went into this model, the guys at the FootBiz newsletter said, based, for example, on the current league standings, because we talk about how this is about the big teams and making more money and whatever, based on the rules that are part of the A22 proposal, these would be the teams in the Star League at the very
Right.
top, right? Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Atalanta, Inter, Napoli, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Bayern, Bayer Leverkusen, Paris Saint-Germain, and PSV Eindhoven. And then there would be some qualifiers.
So Man City are not there.
No, they wouldn't because they're currently 5th or 6th on the table. And that's
Oh, sorry. Okay.
and
yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, okay, if you view it purely from a money perspective, right, take the whole sporting merit out of it, blah, blah, blah. View it purely from a business perspective. The original Super League had a business logic to it because you had the 15 biggest clubs. I mean, leaving aside Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, and Bayern said no, but in the original plan, they were there. So I got these 15 mega clubs.
Yeah.
I'll take 3, 5, 7, whatever other clubs, and then boom, I've got a Super League, right? So I've got the sponsors, I've got the fans, right? That had a commercial logic to it. Once you make it merit-based, you don't have that commercial logic, and you don't know what you're going to get. If this league had started this year, based on their rules, for example, Barcelona wouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. This is the part that I struggle with. It's almost like there's no point to them anymore unless they can say, we can run a competition better than UEFA can.
And I guess it's all down to the money then. How much money will they make available? Because the only way that a club would want to switch from the Champions League or the Europa League, maybe not so much the Conference League, because I think you can offer more money than what it's given right now in prize money for the Conference League. But certainly the top 2 competitions, the only way that a club could say, okay, I actually don't want to play for you, UEFA and Champions League, I'm going to go and play for the Unify League, if you offer them more money.
Not going to lie, I think you seemed a little bored before when I went through the formats, but I think now you've hit on something which is more important, right? For this to work, they say we want clubs to be able to choose. So if for them to choose this, the Unify League, it's going to be down to money, and it's going to be down to guaranteed money because that's what clubs want, right? They don't necessarily want to take risks, and to sort of convince them, they're saying we're going to revolutionize the way we make money, certainly on the media side, and sponsorship side. So they're going to create and presumably it's going to be owned by the clubs, I would assume, or by A22, a new streaming platform, which is exactly what everybody needs right now, called the Unify platform. And it's going to show all the games for free, supported by ads. Or if you want, you can have, and I quote, you can buy an affordable premium subscription where you don't see the ads, and maybe you have other little doodads like stats and stuff pop up on your screen. Now, well, first of all, from a business perspective, Jules, I want to get your view on this. This isn't rocket science, right? This is like we've had football on television with ads, for many years, right? And football itself is difficult to put ads in there, So to me, it says either you guys are going to be better at selling those ads than everybody who works in commercial television today, or how are you going to have more money? Are you going to change the rules and have quarters maybe so you can have more ad breaks? How does that work?
That's a very good question. And also, we know that obviously the most chunk of the TV, the prize money for the Champions League, for example, comes from TV right days from all around Europe,
TV
right?
and sponsorship,
So if I suspect could that streaming platform and the revenues that will bring can match what the Champions League and UEFA are making in selling the rights of the Champions League to more normal television channels?
Yeah, I mean, I know numbers don't mean much without context, but UEFA make about 4.4 billion a year from the sale of their European competitions. And they go and they redistribute, I think, about 3.4 billion to clubs. This is clubs, Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League.
Okay.
Now, if you are Unify, you don't just have to bring in 4.4 billion. You have more costs because you have to set up the streaming platform. You have to market it. You have to produce the games, which means that you need to send the camera people and everything. That has a cost too. And those are costs that
probably
right now
around 50 million, more 15 to 75 million. I think for the league, it would cost you between 50 and 100 million a season just to produce.
I would have thought maybe more than that, but I generally don't know. You would know better than me. So you have to bring all these costs in, and you can say, oh, but UEFA aren't a lean operation. So I looked at this, and UEFA take about something like 130 odd million is kind of what it costs UEFA to organize a competition, right?
Yeah.
So you can say we can do that better and cheaper, fine. And then UEFA also take a big chunk out in solidarity payments, which means that they go either to clubs who don't participate or clubs who've been eliminated from the playoffs, or they go into UEFA's coffers and then get redistributed to all the national associations. And you can say, well, we're not going to do that. That's fine, but you're saving yourself at a maximum $500 million there.
Yeah.
Where's the other money going to come from?
If you are provided.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Manchester United, for example, assuming they qualify for this stuff.
Well, they might be, because everybody else is going to say no, so they can say yes.
Do I want to be a business partner in a streaming venture where I don't know if I'm going to make any money? I'm going to want guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So where's the guaranteed money going to come from? Because putting $5 billion down, I think that's like a minimum of what they would have to guarantee, right? And then you sell what you can out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's going to do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. And even the platform itself, you talked about basketball, the EuroLeague is on a streaming platform called Squeak, if you like your basketball in Europe or wherever you live. And it's just not really working out for clubs. It's not working out for, I don't think, anybody really. So...
And we should point out, EuroLeague basketball, we're both basketball fans, right? And people can make fun of the EuroLeague. And we're in England where people don't know what basketball is, right? But the EuroLeague is easily, I think, the most successful basketball product in the world outside of
the NBA.
I should say professional. Actually, I was going to say professional basketball product in the world outside of the NBA. Then I remembered, thanks to name, image, likeness, college basketball, maybe like the ACC or the Big Ten, but whatever.
Yeah.
You get my point.
Yeah.
And they all lose money.
Yeah.
All these clubs lose money. Real Madrid and Barcelona have to subsidize, the football team subsidizes the basketball team.
Yeah.
So, and this is the most popular
And it's
spectator sport.
Yeah, and it's a similar concept, really.
So that's what I kind of struggle with this. Now, reactions to this have been interesting because nobody has reacted to it except for Javier Tebas. But that's because
Of
Javier
course.
Tebas reacts to everything.
Yeah.
And he said it was a joke. Are they just going through the motions now? They say the case that Florentino said, I put this money to these people.
Yeah, because I know you've been following this far closer than I have. Didn't they announce a few months ago that they had already 15 clubs that have said yes, and like maybe the likes of Anderlecht and club like that, or I've just made that up?
No,
Or maybe they didn't reveal the names, but didn't they say that they had already the yes from some European clubs?
Yeah, I mean, yes, there are some clubs that have said that they would do. I mean, but funnily enough, I mean, it's clubs who are not in the UEFA competition. So Napoli, for example, in the summer, De Laurentiis says, "Yes, this is a great idea. Look, you know."
Okay.
I'm like, "Okay, dude, because you know you're not busy midweek,
Yeah.
right?" Whether you feel differently with this model now, I think we are in that kind of situation. Florentino Perez, when he had the members meeting, the assembly, he said, "Oh no, that's going to start in September 2025." And it's like, okay, you're going to be there, or you're going to be defending your Champions League title that you might win. To me, it really feels like posturing.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing, they say that essentially the way, again, and I am not a lawyer, the way UEFA wrote the rules about, because essentially what the judgment said is like, UEFA, you can't stop or punish people from starting their own league if they meet these criteria, right? So it's sporting and merit, we said before. And UEFA said, okay, yeah, we'll allow them if they meet this criteria. The way I read the criteria is they can't interfere with the UEFA competitions.
So that means what? Different dates to the season dates?
Well, that's the thing. They can't be different dates because the match calendar, because they have to respect the match calendar. So it would be on the same nights. But they say you can't, this is A22.
So you could not play on a Tuesday night when there's already Champions League?
No, you can. You have to because it's a FIFA match calendar.
Yeah, but
right?
does that interfere with UEFA?
No, UEFA. The interference is you can't take teams that have qualified for UEFA competitions and put them in your competition.
Okay.
So A22 says, wait a minute, then we're not free to choose, right?
Yeah.
The club can't choose because then you're not going to give us permission. So I'm guessing this is going to sit with lawyers. There might be more legal action. It does seem like, I know I'm not in favor of this, but it seems a bit unfair from UEFA saying like, because you're not really giving people choice.
No,
right?
that's true.
That said, this seems up in the air. And I think it's obvious too that commercially this can't get off the ground. Both competing with some big clubs in one, some big clubs in the other is going to really hurt both competitions.
Definitely.
So we don't think.
I don't think so either.
All right. But hey, A22, Bernd
good
Reichert, if you want to talk to us, you know where we are. You had a bunch of meetings in London yesterday. Did you call me and say, Gab, do you want to talk to me? No. So this is why I'm just going to react to the stuff that you put out, which frankly is kind of nonsense.